So in this video, I'm going to give you a suggestion of how to make a clay cereal bowl or ice cream bowl, something like that. Now to begin, we're going to take a plastic bowl, an actual plastic bowl from the dollar store, and we're going to use that as our mold, as our form, which means something that will help train the clay to take on its shape. Preferably, you would want a bowl from the dollar store, for instance, that doesn't have much of a foot. This has a ring-like foot to it, but it's very subtle, and so that's good. That's ideal. And our clay slab that you see here is going to likely stick to the plastic material, so it's best to provide a dry paper towel barrier so that your slab doesn't stick. And all you would do is just take your dry paper towel, as much as you need, and tape it down, secure it. So you got to do a little bit of prep work here. And you can see I'm working with small pieces of paper towel, so I'm going to need more paper towel in a second. And this doesn't have to be fancy. Nobody's going to see this. This is just to create a barrier and to help release the slab from the mold, from the plastic bowl. So my slab is kind of an unusual shape, as most slabs tend to be. I'm going to cut that down later. But in the meantime, I want to do some prep work of the slab and take a damp sponge and kind of sponge over the slab in different directions, vertically, horizontally, crisscrossing for a few minutes. It's a good idea to do this because that condenses all the molecules of the clay and helps it arch in the way we need it to curve and arch, because as you'll see later, when I drape the slab over the plastic bowl, there is a strong curve, strong arch taking place. And sometimes clay can get a little stressed out doing that. So it helps if you do a little pre-sponging. You can do that to both sides, definitely at least one side, and then you can sponge the other side like later when it's looking like an actual clay bowl. But for right now, I'm just doing one side, and I'll probably have that side that I sponged touch the paper towel. But before I drape it over, I need to get a perfect circle cut out to my slab. So I recommend finding a bowl, a plastic bowl, a plate, something from your kitchen cabinet, that sort of thing, anything circular, and trace around it. I'm cutting with a bent paper clip tool, so trace around that to get your perfect circular shape, or as close to perfect as possible. And you want this circle, quite a bit bigger than the bowl, plastic bowl opening. So the diameter of this is bigger than the red plastic bowl diameter. You'll understand why that needs to happen later. Keep your scrap. That might be helpful. You'll see in later videos what I'm going to do with that scrap clay. Now, if the edge is a rough cut, don't worry, we'll deal with that later. You'll see that in a future video. But in the meantime, I have my circular slab, and now it's time to officially drape it over my dry paper towel wrapped plastic mold or plastic form. And you just want to center it as much as possible. Okay, be mindful of that. Don't have your plastic bowl hiding underneath off center. That will definitely affect your clay bowl in a negative way. So try to center it and then just gently pat it down. I'm using both hands and I'm applying just a little bit of pressure. I don't want to dent my slab with my fingertips or my thumb tips. I'm just kind of pressing down and training the slab to take on this curvature. Now you might see some waviness to the rim, what will later be the rim of the bowl. You'll see some wavy areas, but just compress and condense. Use your palm to do that. And just take your time with this. Don't rush this part. Take your time. You're kind of sweet talking the clay. You're trying to charm it into becoming a bowl form, to go from a flat two-dimensional slab to this three-dimensional object. It takes a little bit of coaxing. And now I'm sponging like cracks that I see. If you see cracks show up immediately and the clay looks stressed, deal with that right away with a damp sponge and kind of massage away any cracks. So I've got my slab draped over. It's very much looking like a bowl, like an upside down bowl, almost like a helmet. It'll need some additional help in training it to be a bowl, which I'll talk about in an upcoming video. But otherwise, this is pretty much the look that we want. I'll just need to baby it a little bit, which I'll do later.